Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for social media and marketing tips and tricks based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we are doing a session of Master Your Marketing, and we'll be talking about print designs inside the Keller Williams Command platform. We will be specifically diving into the new quarterly magazine feature, and if this sounds like things that you would be interested in learning more about in the future, go ahead and click subscribe, and then hit that little bell icon to make sure you get notifications when new videos hit. Let's get marketing. Got to do my little tagline every week, guys. Yay. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We're going to open up to Command. Can everybody see my Command screen? It says, welcome home. Perfect. Okay, so to start, we are going to be living in designs today. So we want to go ahead and hit that designs applet right here. And as we go through things today, I'll give you some other like pro tips for little tricks to make things go quicker and easier when you're in here doing designs as well. First thing you need to know whenever you're creating anything brand new, you want to come all the way to the bottom to that big blue plus sign, click on that. Today we're talking about print, so we're going to go ahead and tap print and then next. Oh no, let me try an incognito browser. I haven't cleared my cookies in a while. If you guys ever run into something like that, can you see a black screen right now? Okay, perfect. If you're ever running into anything like that, chances are you need to clear your cookies on your computer, or you can use an incognito browser like I'm doing right now, which will essentially work the same way.
I ran into that yesterday. There was a lot of buzz about it on the Facebook pages. You may need to allow third-party cookies for We.
So that does happen on the incognito browser sometimes. I was in designs earlier today, but that's a great point, Pam. Let's try that again. Okay, so up here we have this allow your third-party cookies. I was just in before class. All right. Well, Pam, what was your trick? Let's try it here too.
I went to settings and allowed kw.com plus We, whatever that is. Yeah, that's where I did it. Allowed third-party cookies.
In here.
Yeah.
And let's
added down to allowing cookies. Added the two.
There it is. No.
Actually, down a little further. See all cookies. It says sites that can always use cookies.
Ah, here we go. Thank you.
And
I was like, I know I've done this. I'm just not seeing the button. Oh, maybe I can only do, do I have to put the link in there?
I specifically added, what was it? We.brand and kw.com or something like that.
All right. So we want to do probably this. And we want to do this. And we want to do this. And I missed something still.
I just added the asterisk kw.com, not agent.kw.
Like that?
Yeah. I don't know if it makes a difference.
Let's
Maybe it's the same gremlin that had your voice before.
It could be. I tested everything out before we started class and it was working just fine. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log out of this account and I'll use my own personal account because I was in somebody else's account when it was working for me. So let's try that. Sorry guys, thanks for your patience. Technology, you love it when it works, right? Ooh. Oh, I see something came in the chat, but I can't see what it is yet. Hang on.
It says technology happens.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, I unshared my screen. Well, I guess that's okay because you don't need to see me fidgeting around with this. Let me try one other account that I was in that I know is working because it was doing it before we started class today. One second. There we go. All right, can you guys see my screen? Did I share the right one? All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I hit print, I hit next. This is the screen that came up. Now we're all on the same page, yeah? Okay. What I want you to go to is lead generation and then personally branded. And if you hover over it, you'll see that word zine, like magazine, personally branded zine. And there it is. There's a whole magazine you can choose from. So I'm going to hover over that and I'm going to hit use. And that's how you choose anything in designs. And for this example, this is the same type of thing you'll see on any multi-page design inside print. So including the buyer presentation and listing presentations, you will see on the left-hand side a whole slew of pages that you can choose between. Now, if I click on one page, you'll see it pop up over here. But unless I actually hover over it and hit that plus sign, it's not selecting it to be permanently in my design. Does that make sense to everybody? So you can see at the bottom here, I'm on page 1 out of 1. So if I click my next page and not the plus sign, it's still showing 1 out of 1 page. Do you see this number down here? Yeah? Okay. Let me open my chat too in case anybody has questions. So I can see them. There we go. So I'm back on the first page. I'm going to hit that plus sign. I may have hit it twice. That's okay. And then I'm going to hit the plus sign on the second page. And I'm going to hit it on the third page. Anything I want to add in there, I'm going to hit that little plus sign. So here's an article, this real estate resolutions. This is an article that's already pre-written for you. What's really cool about this magazine and that it is quarterly. So they'll come out with new articles 4 times a year. That's what quarterly means, right? And I'm just going to add all these pages in. And you can use this and have a print magazine, or you can actually get a digital link to share on social media, or if you want to email the people the link, you can do that too. So I'm almost done loading in the pages here. Any questions about what I'm doing right now? This is pretty simple, just hitting that plus sign, right?
So
And
could this be an item we'd use as a lead magnet to, if someone registers,
sure.
then send it to them as their freebie?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea, Patty. Okay, so I've loaded all those pages in here. So you can see there's 17 pages, and I think I duplicated that first one. So one little shortcut I want to show you is that if you hit this pages button, it's actually going to open a little drawer at the bottom, and it will show you all your pages. Now you can see some of them, it takes a second to load in, but look at page 1 and page 2. Those are both the new beginnings page, and I don't want that in there twice. So if I hit that little drop down, I can hit the trash can, and then I can delete that whole page. So now I only have 16 pages. Now, let's say you did want to duplicate a page and then maybe edit the second one, but you don't want to have to start the whole thing from scratch. You can use that same little arrow and you can hit this middle button that's duplicate, and it will copy that same page in there for you. So that's a fun little tip to know about as well. I don't want it in there twice, so I'm going to delete it. And then you can go through these pages one at a time and make any edits that you would like, or decide to leave it exactly how it is. Also on the far right, I have this show all pages button. And if I do that, it will actually open that drawer further and you can see everything that you have in little thumbnail forms. And you just click on the page you want to go to and it will open that up for you.
Now, Amy, you said you could edit any of the pages But before you said it was uneditable as far as content.
Yeah, so the articles, you won't be able to edit the content, but you can go ahead and add logos and stuff to the pages. So let's start at the beginning. Any questions about that navigation at the bottom? Did that all make sense to everybody? Okay, perfect. Then I'm just going to start at the first page. And some of this, if you guys have used command designs before, will be familiar to you. I have a logo here that says DBA logo. So I want to switch that out for my actual brokerage logo. So when I click on it, it's going to pull up the logos I have preloaded into my assets. And I'm happy to go over how you can load things into your asset section if you guys would like to learn that today as well. And I'm just going to hit this replace logo button and you'll see it'll pop right into place where that logo already was.
Amy, I have another question.
Yeah.
With the license law changes in Illinois, do we have to be careful on this type of thing as well, that our logo and our
Yes.
information smaller than that?
Fantastic question, Patty. And I'm not sure if everybody on here is from Illinois, so make sure you check with your state rules, check with your managing brokers. Here in Illinois, your name or logo cannot be larger than your brokerage logo. And Patty, some of the updates that just came out was now it's the full logo. So your logo can be the same size as your brokerage logo, whereas before, you see how Premier and Properties is much smaller than this full logo? The old way was that your name had to be as big as or smaller than the word Premier. Now you can do the whole logo.
Oh, okay.
So that just came across. But if you guys have any questions about sizing and stuff for your marketing, just check with your managing brokers and they'll be able to help you with that. So that's new, that update is new, and it does apply to any public facing marketing that you're doing. Doesn't matter if it's print, digital, whatever, you need to have the sizing correct to avoid any fines. So good question. So there I have my logo I've put in, and then you can see there's a spot here on the top right that I put my name and office information. A lot of people will click on this and like double click and triple click and try to do that. I'm going to show you an easier way to edit any text. Make sure it's highlighted. We got that blue outline, and use your typewriter function at the top. Does everybody see this? Looks like a little bar with half black and half white, and I hover over it and it says typewriter. When you open that up, it will actually open a little page here that you can type right into. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit save changes. And now you can see that populated right in there for me. So now you don't have to worry about clicking the text box. Oops, I moved the text box instead of highlighting the text, all that stuff. So that's nice and easy for you. And you can click around on the page to see what else is editable. So on this page, there's a lot that you can adjust if you want to. And if this is too hard to see, it's too little, if you come to the bottom right, you can hit zoom in and you can scroll through your page to make that bigger and easier to see. So that's another little tip for you. Now, I'm fine with leaving all of this in here because I put all of those pages in. Now, let's say I only chose the budget pages and the wellness page. Well, then I can just delete this information that's in the middle. Does that make sense to everybody? Yep, okay.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Could you, if you were doing it as a lead magnet, could you break the issue up and send and have that as different freebie giveaways?
Yeah, absolutely.
Per article?
Yeah, so you could just pick the pages for 5 real estate resolutions and make that one document, and you could do the pages for home maintenance and make that one document, and then the same thing with the Say Goodbye to Winter Blues, where instead of having them all in one piece. So you could easily break that up. You would just do this process 3 times, but with just the pages that you want in those 3 different documents. So you don't have to put all of them in there 3 different times. Does that make sense?
Just making sure it was doable. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. All right, and so right here we have our Winter 1 volume 1 Winter 2021. So that's what KW is going to update every quarter. So next one will be spring, obviously. And if you don't want to have that volume number in there, you can just click on it, open your typewriter, and delete that. or the whole text, you know, whatever you want. Any questions on editing this stuff so far? Not yet? Okay. And let's say you don't like gray for that color for new beginnings. If I click on my text, I get this toolbar that opens up here. We have that gray circle at the top. Maybe my branding is blue. So I just click that blue and there we go. Now I have a new color. Same thing with the picture. If for some reason you didn't want that picture, you can click on it. And we are already in the images section here once I've clicked on this picture. So like if I click on text, we can come over to the text section. If I click on image, it should take us right into that image section. Now you guys can add in any images that you already have on your computer, or right now it defaulted us to this company section. And you can see there's a whole bunch of folders in here. And I can open up those folders and get some professional stock photos that I can switch out if I don't like the one that's already in the magazine here. And again, I'm just going to hit that replace image button and it will format it exactly to the space that we need in there. Oh, it's taking its time today. There we go. So you don't have to worry about stretching it out, making it, you know, making it really wide or really tall, something like that. It'll fit it to that space specifically when you use that replace image button. Any questions about that? No? All right. Let's go ahead and open those pages. And I'm just going to go to page 3 because this one's a little different. So here's our year in review. So these are templates that are ready for you to load information into. So anytime you see a bracket, let's make this a little bigger for you guys. Anytime you see a bracket like that, that's a place for you to add information. So if I click on that text and go to my typewriter, I can just delete where it says insert neighborhood and type in Glen Ellen. Save. And now we've got Glen Ellen in there. And then I can come through and I can go on the MLS and pull data and put this information in here. If you guys have, you should all have access to InfoSparks. Most of this you can get right from InfoSparks there. And then if you want to do, see this one's saying on a company. So if you want to do stats for your whole office, you can also pull that out of InfoSparks. So you could put in, you know, your full brokerage name, but for time, I'm just going to put KWPP. And then you can pull the stats for your whole office. And update that. So same thing, you would just click on it, open your typewriter and update it, you know, to however many units you had in 2019. Questions about that?
Yes, I have one.
Go for it.
If you are doing, for example, Glen Ellen at the top, are you going to do then KWPP for just Glen Ellen at the bottom or for the whole office?
It's a good question. And that's actually totally up to you. I would consider that to be a design decision. If you are doing it for, you know, the whole, for Glen Ellen, maybe put, you know, your office name, Glen Ellen, right? So you have the ability to put the text in there to make it make sense for your clients.
I was just thinking apples to apples kind of comparison.
And or you could do all brokerage transactions. I wouldn't use that word, but stats maybe, or full brokerage, you know, wherever you want. But yeah, you could definitely just pull the stats for the town that you're comparing to the top. So then you can see of the 350 sold in 2019 in Glen Ellen, you know, 300 were Keller Williams Premier Properties. Yay. Right. So they can see that. You also don't have to do a town. You could do a whole county. Remember, you have access to all types of information in the MLS. So you can pull whatever type of statistics you're looking for in there. Any other questions about this page? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, then I'm going to go to one of the articles. And this is where I was saying that you won't actually be able to edit the copy or the text inside these articles. And the reason for that is they've already been written and verified and, you know, it's been edited and all of that stuff. So all of these are actually images. And see, it's not letting me move it, right? And that's because you've had a professional design team put this together for you already. So all of that you won't be able to edit. Now you could, let's go to, oh, I'm already in images. Let's go to add, go back to my assets. Let's say you wanted to put your headshot in there. You could add your headshot in. Right, so you can add information to it. You just won't be able to edit anything that's related to that article already. I'm just gonna delete that. Any questions on that? No? All right, we're moving and shaking. I think that's pretty much all of the main information that you would need to know. You just wanna go through your different pages and make sure, so like here, if you want to put your own bio in there instead of the generic one, you can go ahead and update that information. You'd want to put how long you've been in business, right? It's kind of like a resume page for you. Obviously, you want to put your logo in here. And so on and so forth. All right. Any questions about any of that? Are there any pages you guys want me to dig into, open up a little bigger so you can see them more? Let me show you this one. This last one is the app page. And it is asking you to put your URL in there. Do you guys know where to find the URL for your app? Not hearing anything, so I'm going to guess no. I'm going to open a new page in Command. New tab, same account. You're going to go to Consumer at the bottom left. Site and App Settings at the top right. And then URLs. And here is your app link right here. You can just hit this copy button or you can highlight it and copy it. Come back to that first tab you have open, select your text, open that typewriter, and you can paste that app link right in there. And I would just get rid of this part. There you go, there's your app link. Did you guys all just learn something new? I hope so. Okay, so that is pretty much it for, basically learning how you can edit, doing basic edits, stuff like that. Has anybody here ever run into the need for color matching? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? So let's say you don't like red. Red's not your color, right? But you want to use something, a color in here that, let me zoom out a little bit, that looks good with your image that you have in here. See how that play button has a blue outline at the top? I can select this square or this text here and click my color palette. And there's this little eyedropper at the bottom left. I can click that eyedropper, and wherever I hover over, do you guys see this section here in the top left? It's got some numbers in black. Okay, so watch that as I hover over the screen. So see, it's picking up these different colors as I hover over it with that eyedropper. So if I want it to be that blue, I can just tap on it and then hit apply, and now my button's blue. Isn't that cool? So you can color match anything in a picture. In anywhere in designs, you can do this.
And so if you have brand colors that are very specific, then you can, within Command, you can match what your marketing stuff looks like exactly to what your colors are, right?
And that's actually a great segue. Yes, you can do that eyedropper on anything. Now, if you do have brand colors, I had mentioned the My Assets section. So I talked to you about that earlier for loading in logos. You can also load in fonts if you have custom fonts, and you can set your brand colors in there. So I would love to show that to you guys next if there's not anything else you want to see on this magazine. Well, you know what I do want to show you before we go into assets is how you can get the link for the magazine. Do you guys know how to do that? Okay, so first of all, you can always go to download and you can get a PNG or a JPEG. So that's just going to do one page at a time. Or you can hit get PDF and it will download the whole thing as a PDF for you. And if you want to send it to a printer, of course, you'd want to do your high resolution print quality here. And then ask your printer if they want to bleed or not. If they do, you want to use this button that says use manual bleed. Sometimes they'll ask for cut marks, so that's an option on here as well. And something that they're working on that's coming soon is partnering with a print company, so you'll be able to print directly through Command. So that's coming. So you guys are all in the know now. The other thing you can do is hit this share button. And see, right now I'm on this design. So that means just this one page that we're on. If we want to do the whole magazine, you want to select the project. And then you can share it directly to Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter as long as your account is hooked up to that. Or you can highlight this. You can just copy this link right here where it says project link. I'm going to open it in a new tab so you guys can see what it looks like. And you can share this link that I just copied anywhere you want. So this is what will happen when somebody clicks on that link. They'll be able to slide through these different pieces of the magazine. Obviously, you'll have already put all the information in there and we won't have blank pages and stuff. Any questions about that?
No.
All right, so I was thinking that this could be a great way. People have been asking about newsletters for quite a while. I was thinking that some of these articles could be really cool things to put in a newsletter. So you could save page 1, 2, 3 as images and drop them into a newsletter, an email, like an e-newsletter. Or you could use this whole link and put that in an email to send out to people and have them click on the link to see your quarterly magazine. Or if you want to break it up into 3 sections. So we do real estate for 1 month, real estate, what was it, resolutions 1 month. And then we do projects to tackle as soon as possible for 1 month. And then we do say goodbye to winter blues for another month. So you could easily break it up into 3 months worth of content right there. Questions on that? I see notes being taken, so that makes me happy.
Very cool.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there, and this might be crazy, I don't know, but is there any way we could include or make this into like a smart plan?
Yes. So there's a couple things you can do. One, in smart plans, I love that you asked that, by the way, is that if you're doing a simple text email in a smart plan, you can use that link and just paste it into the smart plan.
Okay.
The other thing you could do is if you actually build out an email template with, like, you save one of these pages as a PNG and upload that into your email, then you can use that email template in your smart plan. Now, we are only getting this quarterly, so if you did what I suggested where you break it up into 3 sections, you can plan out 3 months at one time.
Okay.
So you can do 3 months of emails in one sitting, and then when the next magazine becomes available, you can do your next 3 months.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, perfect. And say I can dig in a little more if we want to on that.
If you want to, absolutely.
Well, let me show you assets, and then we can take a vote on what we want to do next.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Hey, Amy, really quick.
Yes.
I'm super frustrated. I'm trying to get the app and I can't get it. Like, I copied it from where you told me, but now it's not letting me paste it. So I hit copy there because I'm on my PC following along with you.
Okay,
actually.
Perfect. So we hit copy here.
Yep. And then I did that. And then I went into that page 16.
Yep.
And then I'm not getting the little typewriter though up at the top for some reason. I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't see the typewriter, can you just triple click on that to have it, or drag from left to right to have it highlight?
Yep.
And then you can just delete what's in there and hit paste, and it'll put your new.
And I did that. It's so strange and it's not letting me. Well, whatever. I don't want to hold up the class. It's no big deal.
Well, and that might be something, I just want to remind everybody, Anna, Marie, this is a great type of thing to bring into Command on Demand too.
Okay.
I know we do have a session at 3 o'clock today.
Okay.
And that way we can see your screen and actually see what's going on, and maybe try it on our end too. So
Exactly. Okay.
If you're available, please come on into that. If not, go ahead and shoot me an email after class and I can set up a time with you.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Just like Rochelle said, technology happens, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's why I'm here to help. All right. So are you guys ready to see that assets so you can load in some stuff that you use all the time? Anything else we want to see here? Doesn't sound like it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit done. And yes, I want to save. Make sure you save. And the reason I want to show you assets is because there are going to be some things that you guys are going to want to use all the time. Things like headshots, logos, like Patty mentioned, maybe specific brand colors. If you guys have your own fonts, you can actually preload all of that into Command and have it be available for you on any design that you're working on. Has anybody used that part of Command yet? Not yet. All right. So to get in there, of course, we're going to stay in designs for this. We're going to hit your plus sign and you can click on anything that you want to get into. I usually just do social. I just want to get to the design section here. And what's going to happen is at the top, we're going to see templates, my designs, and my assets. Do you guys all see that on the left? Perfect. So you want to go ahead and click on my assets. And it's loading. And what it's going to do is come up with a couple of options on the left-hand side. And it's going to say logos. It's going to say maybe brand colors, fonts, and you can click on those different sections and load your own in. I think I clicked it too much. Let me stop the page real quick. I think I clicked it like 3 times on accident. There we go. I confused it. So you hit my assets and you can see it automatically takes us into colors and fonts. So if you guys know what your colors are, you just hit that plus sign and you do have the color coding here, or you have that eyedropper. So if you have something pulled up, so like I'm off of my Command screen right now. Hang on one second. I'm off of my browser. Let's say this is just an image I have on my computer. Let's say this image had my colors in it, right? So when I click on the plus sign, I can hover over and hit my dropper. I can hover over that blue and it's going to pick it up for me and make it one of my colors. So it doesn't have to be in your current window. Does that make sense? Okay. The other thing you can do is click on your plus sign. You've got the different colors you can drag through here and you can move your mouse around like this. And you can see we have RGB. So if you have RGB codes, you can plug those in. You can also toggle down, you've got HSL and we've got hex codes. So if you have any of those codes from a designer or another platform that you're working on, you can just type them right in here and it will pull up the exact color you've been using. Does anybody use Canva? Yep. Okay. So Canva does hex codes. So if you go into Canva and click on your color, you can get your hex code from Canva and you can paste it in here. These other ones are going to be like Adobe, stuff like that.
So it was RGB, HSL was
Is the middle one. Yep.
When something talks about a vector color or a vector, what does that mean?
That's the type of file. So when you're downloading something from Adobe Pro, you can download it as a vector file. Or an EPS, that's another type of file. So you won't be able to do that type of stuff in Command. You'd need like a full graphic design program to do that.
Yeah, because sometimes when I'm given a bunch of choices, it's like I have no idea which one is applicable to, you know, what type of
Unless somebody's specifically asking you for a vector file, you probably don't need it. You're going to be using JPEGs, PNGs, and then your PDFs most frequently. Those will be the good ones for you. So here's colors and fonts. If you guys have a font that you're using and it's not one of the preset ones inside Command, you can upload your font file and just drag and drop it in there. So you can have that available. You can also go to this web fonts button on the far right and search the web for fonts. I probably shouldn't have clicked on that. There we go. And search the web for your specific font. Then you can see our next section on the left is logos. So these are the two we already have loaded in here. To add another one, all you have to do is hit upload We do have the new folder option too. So maybe you want 2 folders. You want one with your brokerage logos and you want one with your team logos, right? So you could have another folder in there and name it team logos or brokerage logo, whatever you want, just to make it organized for yourself. Your smart text, this is any text that you use a lot. So this is a good thing to put in here is your disclaimers. So you don't have to type that out all the time. Like I'm not soliciting you, right? And each office is independently owned and operated, that type of stuff. Those are good things to put in here. Obviously phone number, email, that is good to have in there as well. And then images, anything that you're using frequently, you can load into images. You can see that there's a whole section for elements. So some fun little extra details, videos, and then any other files. So once you're done with that, they're all going to be loaded into that My Asset section. So once you go into one of your designs, we'll go back into that magazine. Anything we've added to that My Asset section will now be available. Once I click on my page here, I can go to images, I can go to text. So whatever, let's say we did some colors. So the colors will show up when you click on your color. We have a default palette and we have my library colors, and there's those 2 colors that are from My Assets. And then if you are in images, we have a My Asset section right here. If you're in text, we have a My Asset section, so that all pulls up for you. So that will show up on every design you ever work on. And you don't have to retype 20 times the same thing. Any questions about that? Does that save you guys some time?
If you have a tagline,
Mhm.
is it better to have the tagline saved as text or as an image?
You could do it in both. If you have like a special font or something, or it is an image that's like loaded in kind of like a logo, but it's a tagline, you could load that in as an image. If it's just text that you want to have access to all the time, you could have it in both spots. There's no reason you can't do that.
Okay.
And then
Thank
Pam
you.
said, is there a limit to any section you can add and add assets? Not that I'm aware of. I have not hit the limit. You used to only be able to add 5 photos, but that was before they kind of built out that My Assets section. I have not run into a limit yet. That doesn't mean there's not one, but I haven't run into it myself.
Great,
Good question, Pam.
Hey, Amy,
Yeah.
can you show me one more time how to add, like if I want to add my logo under logos, My Assets?
Yep. Let's go back.
Sorry.
No, that's totally fine. Somebody else may have missed it too. That's okay. So you have to come in through either, let's go all the way back. When
Okay.
you log into designs, let me X out of this here. When you first tap that designs button, you
Mhm.
get this screen. You have to act like you're opening a new design to get to it.
Ah, okay.
So it's not quite intuitive. So you hit that plus sign. And like I said, I usually just click social. It doesn't really matter. You would want to do one at social print or PDF. But I usually just click social and then hit next. And then all the way at the top left, you'll have the option of templates, my designs, and my assets.
Okay.
So you just click on assets and that'll get you in there.
And then that's where you would add it.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you hit upload, correct? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so obviously with the colors, you hit the plus sign, but for logos, you just hit that little upload button.
Perfect.
And you can see it gives you options on where you want to pull it in from.
Nice. Oh, perfect. I just did it. Great.
Yay.
And then that's where we would add anything else, like our images.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want to put so you would logos keep in one spot, but then there is images, so you can put like your headshots and stuff like that. Like this could technically go in the logo section, but
right.
Okay.
Spot. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. So that was a big thing I wanted you guys to know about, because that can really save a lot of time, so you don't have to upload that every time you're working on something. And we talked about your fonts. You guys understand? So when I open up the fonts, I didn't show you how to change the fonts. Did you guys want to see that, or do you understand that that toolbar opens up? You can change the font size, the font type, the color, italics, bold, that stuff. Did you want to look into detail at any of that?
I would like to see how you do that.
Okay, let's just click open here, back to our magazine. And so here we have that new beginnings. I've got that text selected. As soon as you select the text, you get a little toolbar that pops up at the top. So here I have my font styles. Let's say I want it more fancy. Ooh, I don't like how that looks. Let's go Century Gothic. And I can resize it. And then I have it selected. Oh, I only have the one thing selected. I have it selected again. Here we can change the size. Obviously that's too little. I accidentally clicked off of it. Sorry about that.
Is there a minimum is there a minimum font size for the disclaimer information, like the independently owned and operated?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I know it's supposed to be legible, so it has to be readable.
Okay.
Let's see. So that's the sizing and the different fonts. We talked about colors. If you're doing a shape, that's where this outline will come into play. I don't have any shapes on this page, but I can make it bold. Not all fonts can be bold, so it just depends on the font you're choosing, but I can make it bold. Like this one, I don't have an italic option. That's this font specifically. And then we have underline. And then if you accidentally made it all caps and you didn't want it to be, you could switch it here with this big T and little t. That'll flip the all caps or minimized. I don't remember what that's actually called. Lowercase, I guess.
Is
you can add
the shape, could that be used to put, you know, a black box around New Beginnings? Is that
yeah, exactly.
what you would use?
So I'm not selected on anything right now. And now I have that option to draw, shape, frame, text. So I have lots of different things up here. So I can go ahead and add shape, and I can do this square, and you can see it's a solid square, right? So let's say we wanted to add that box over New Beginnings. Now I can click my full color here, and I have this button right next to apply that looks like little stripes, diagonal stripes. That's going to make it transparent in the center.
Okay.
And then the outline color, the stroke color, will change what's left there. So let's say I wanted the red. Now I have a red box. And then I can resize it if I wanted, you know, wherever I want it to go.
Okay. So the shapes are on the, like the toolbar before the.
Yeah, you have to have nothing selected to get to shapes. And then now you guys can probably tell that New Beginnings is no longer centered on this page. Instead of clicking it and like using your arrow to be like, is that centered? I can't tell. Up in the far right, we've got a couple more buttons here. We have transform arrange. We'll actually let you center it in the, you know, left or right and vertically, top and bottom, right? So we can do it all kinds of different centering here. And let's do it. Whoops, I unselected it. The other thing you can do, oh, I clicked the wrong button. Haha, I don't want it the middle there. I want it middle, left, and right. I want it middle here. Oh, look, I put it right in the middle. Good job, me. You can see it's relative to page. If you have other elements, that's where this other drop down will come into play. This layer order. So right now, beginning is behind this red box. I know it's not filled in, but beginning is behind it. If I want it to be above it, see now if I click that, bring to the front. So we have front, back. This is one layer at a time, and this is totally to the top and totally to the bottom. But now my beginning is on top of that box. So that helps you guys kind of layer things how you want it layered inside the design. All right, we have about 10 minutes left, and I do have a 2 o'clock call today. So would you guys like me to keep going over this type of stuff, or do you want me to open up smart plans? Keep going, smart plans? Nothing?
Smart plans would be good.
So Janice, the listing presentation is exactly the same as what we're doing here. It's just a different file. So let me just show you where to find that. So it's actually in the same section. We looked at listings before. So we want print, next. And now instead of going all the way to the bottom of that listing section, we want listing presentation. So there's 5 presentations in here that you can choose from. And there's also 5 buyers consultations you can choose from that match. So you just pick the one you want. And again, you choose the pages you want to keep and the pages you want to get rid of. I have a lot of people make 2 versions. They'll do one that they don't have to edit anything on it. They can just print and go. And then they make a second one that they will customize with their client's name or a picture of their house. So if they do have the time to go ahead and set that up to make it more personalized, they'll do that too. So they'll do 2 versions of it. All right. Then let's see, what can I show you really quick? So I just want to go back into Rochelle. Am I saying your name right? Oh, good. Perfect. She was asking about getting those designs into Smart Plans. So if you remember, one way was the link and the other way was the picture. So one of the things you can do in designs, I'm going to go kind of quick here. When you add an email, when you want to start an email template, you're going to hit email. I'm just going to pick one that's in here. I don't want to start from scratch for time's sake today. So I'm going to open this luxury one. My button is hiding. Here we go. And let's say I took those individual pages from the presentation and I saved them as JPEGs. So I'm just going to do one page just so I can show you guys how to do this. I don't want that one. So this is the article that's in there. Come on, there we go. Let's say I want this page to be saved as an image. I'm going to go to download. I like PNGs. I'm just going to hit start download. It's going to download that one page for me. I'm going to come over back to my email. I think it's still downloading. Yeah, it says preparing. There we go. Download ready. It came to the bottom of my screen. Here's an image that's already loaded into this email. I'm going to hit edit, replace, add images, and I'm going to pull that right from my downloads folder, select my image, and replace it. And I'm going to hit done and save. Now that picture is embedded right into my email. Now you can see this one in particular that I picked, the image was much shorter. So I could click on this and hit edit, and I could make the height bigger. Now it's a little too stretched out, but you get the idea. Now it's more the size it should have been. So you can load any of the images in there that you want to, or I can do 2 little ones side by side. And then when you're all ready, I like to name, I'm just going to call it test. Name it whatever is relevant to you. Save it. And then you're going to come into Smart Plans. So this concept will work with any type of emails that you're doing. I'm going to close this. I want to create a Smart Plan. Oop. I don't know if there's already one in here with that name. There we go. And I want to send an email through a Smart Plan. So I'm going to hit send email. And right now we're in simple. You can see email type is simple. If you just want to put check out my quarterly magazine, right? Obviously, however you actually want to say it, and then put your link here. So you would paste that link in here. You can hit this little link button and I don't have the link saved. Oh, I do. Oh, I have the app link, but you would put whatever link populated from that share section. Add link, and then when you go to send out your email, they can just click on that link right there. So that's for a simple text email. And then if you want that pretty layout with the images, you're going to go ahead and hit designs, hit select design, and my designs. There's the one we just worked on. Just hit that my designs. Got it. And now the one I just pulled in with that image, I'm going to hit save and exit, is going to be populated into that email step right there. So I know that was fast. I do have a whole class on my YouTube channel on Smart Plans and doing emails like this too. So you guys feel free to check that out. youtube.com/thesocialstack. And then I do have playlists up there from all the recordings. I'll just show it to you guys real quick. Oops.
Today was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
They're always good. Today was super good.
Oh, well, I was channeling you today. I knew what you needed. I'm going to pause this. You'll hear me on my own channel. Go to playlist on my YouTube channel right here. And you can see I've got all of the classes recorded classes right here. You can view the full playlist and you can see all the classes I've ever taught. And the Smart Plan ones are going to be towards the bottom because they're newer. So here's Command Your Smart Plans. So I also have another meeting. Thanks, Jessica, for bringing that up. I've got a 2 o'clock today. There is no class next week because of family reunion. I highly suggest you guys go if you have not already registered. Tomorrow, ticket prices go up. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. Only $129, huge value, low cost. It's normally $900 to go, plus all of your airfare and hotels and everything. So check it out if you haven't already. Feel free to reach out to me with questions on that too. But I'll see you in 2 weeks. I don't know what the class is going to be because I'm hoping I find something fun to share at family reunion. So I'll see you guys all in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.